said, dude, Jimmy, I told you about this project I'm doing. In fact, I want you to be a part of it. What? He's like, but let me just tell you. Let me tell you what we're trying to do. So.
You never truly know people until you take the time to get to know people. I want to thank each and every single person who has donated to this show. I don't care if it's a 50 bob, 20 bob, 1 shilling, 20,000, 50,000. You enable us to do this show. You enable us to sit here, take breaks, have some munchies, eat food, have this camera, have these lights, have this venue that is quiet. And because of that, we're able to hear this story.
Amen.
And this story is being heard by people who are not yet born when we're doing this interview. So I do not take it for granted anything that anybody has ever given this show to happen. Thank you so much. If you'd like to get our merch, anyway, we are trying to give things so that you can get. If you'd like to get our merch, please, the description, there's a WhatsApp number. Write to the WhatsApp number. We've got hoodies, we've got caps for the moment. We'll increase as we go. Just want to start small, and just offer the community something. But now to come back to this story, Jimmy, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm really realizing.
Thank you for allowing me to speak, man.
That I am here because of you. I am because of you.
Amen.
We are because of you.
Amen.
I was a musician. I was a musician for 10 years. 10 years of my life. That's what A-Star was. And I'm just realizing, my God, I thank God for Eve D'Souza. I thank God for Wango.
Yes.
Wango in Capital FM. All those guys are standing on your shoulders. I can look at a direct link to that.
Oh,
you get? And that's one of many that you've mentioned. You get? So thank you for what you've done. And I know, and I'm saying this like for a true heart. Number two, thank you for coming to this show and bearing your heart. I know you're doing it so that others can take your life journey and benefit from it.
Yes.
Before we go on with this interview, number three, to Jimmy's kids. Yani, you guys are the true MVPs.
I know!
You guys.
Pops, Mafika. Yani, they're like, Pops, you have to do this. So, you know, like I'll say, I'm like, guys, what is this that this guy cannot get in and out? They're like, no, Pops, that's how it's done. You have to be there. It takes the whole day. Dad, please. Since 2020, when you first called me.
Yep.
So, but a month ago, I said, oh, by the way, I'm going to be on CTA. They're like, what? I'm like, finally!
Yeah. So thank you so much. And you've come with, I say there's a heart that you have to come to CTA with. And it's a heart of giving of your life journey. So this, I know I've talked a lot, but it's important that you also hear the back. And you hear, I've been trying to get you from 2020.
Yes.
There are guys who have been trying to get for 5 years. There are guys I've get for 3 years. There's some people who have started talking now who I know may say yes in 2030. But patient pays, because when you come, I really believe in God's timing. You come ready to give.
Amen.
Maina Kageni, kabla tu. Maina Kageni, and then let's also talk about KISS transition. So the one you want to do first, is that
so KISS transition? Yes. So KISS was good for me. So at the point when I won my first radio award, which was Chagola Tini's Radio Presenter of the Year, that evening, Patrick Kwaku calls me. Literally, first of all, sends me a text. As I was reading, he calls, and at that time, KISS was. Radio Africa was the, you know, and so, you know.
About what time is this? What year?
This is 2020, 2002.
If it's 2002, just put a pin there.
Yeah.
Because I know Josiah released Kenyan first. Oh
my God, umenikumbusha hiyo. Okay, so let me.
Na msanii uko ndani.
So let me tell you how Josiah happened. So I'm doing this.
This is 90s now.
This is 90s. This is 1990s. I'm still a Coke personality.
Okay.
So 96, 97. And so there was a studio along Mombasa Road called Sync Sound. And we were doing an ad for Tanzania called Salama. Salama is, I think, the Swahili version for Trust condoms. And so we do this ad, and the studio owner called Emmy says, I'm looking for a guy who can do keyboards. You know me, I'm a guitar player, and I know I need somebody. I don't need to hire guys all the time. I just need somebody who can be here. I don't even mind somebody new, but can play keyboards. I'm like, wait, I know somebody. Oh, you do? I'm like, yeah. I had a car. I said, can I go and get him? He's like, yeah. Oh, you can get him now. I said, yeah, Naka South B. Oh, God, go. So I get my moti and I drive to Josiah. So Ted and I knew each other from the music background because we used to be in a group called Heart.
You played the music video?
No. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I did.
I've
yes.
had Peter Dera
yes.
here. You said you played the music video.
So I think I called. Were there mobile phones then? I think there were. So I called. No, there are no mobile phones there. So I go, I knock. Ted comes. I'm like, Ted, Twende, where? And carry your keyboard. Wait, where are we going? I want to introduce you to a guy called Emmy. There's a studio called Sing Sound, and they're looking for a keyboard player. What? We can get them OT. We go. We figure it. So he tells Ted, this is what we're doing for this commercial. So he plays the commercial. Salama, chaguo lake basi guitar. And Ted follows. This guy like, what? Ted is playing. What's your name again? He says, Ted Josiah. Ted has always been soft-spoken. Ted Josiah. And as he's talking, he's still playing keyboard. Ted's like, what the hell? What? And Ted gets hired by this guy. Yeah.
You got Ted Josiah, his job had 6 sounds.
Yeah.
And that's why I had a bed and my keyboard setup. And I would get off the bed straight onto the keyboard setup every single day, and I wouldn't leave the house. I just wouldn't leave the house. And what happened was it took about maybe 2-3 years for me to just hone that skill. One day, Jimmi Gathu was asked by some studio owner if he knew somebody who could make music for a commercial. And Jimmy says, oh yeah, you know, there's a guy called Ted who doesn't live too far from here, who makes music all the time. You should use him. So Jimmy calls me and says, hey, come over. There's this guy who wants you to make something for him. So I go to the studio and I make the music, and I literally did this in like 15 minutes. And the guy looked at me and said, so what do you do for a living? I said, well, this is what I do. Is
just in a group.
Yeah. And he says, no, I want to give you a full-time job as a music producer because you're so good at this. And I said, music what? He said, music producer. I think, oh, so there's actually a title for what I do? And he says, yeah, I'm going to have to train you in terms of sound engineering, but I can't even touch you. This guy had been a musician since 1970. And he's saying this to me. He's saying, I've never seen anyone in this country who's doing this thing that you're doing. And you understand it so well. I said, well, I've just been, tinkering about at home. And he says, well, you got the job. So not only did I get that job to do that commercial, but then I joined Sync Sound Studios.
That's now how.
Yes, that's how I got into Sync Sound Studios.
A good big shout out to Jimmy for.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Jimmy, I wouldn't have been at Sync Sound, which means I wouldn't have done Hardstone. I wouldn't have done Shades of Black. I wouldn't have done Heart, the second album, which was the first CD ever.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have done Richard Kawesa.
Hold on. The second album of Heart was the first time now you were moving from tapes to CD. Or at least you were the connect.
Yeah, I was the connect, yeah.
This is insane.
The next thing I know, Ted calls me and tells me, bro, come. To where? Sync Sound. Okay, what's happening? Just come. So I go there and I find DJ Delight, who was then a musical promoter.
David Morevi.
Yeah, Ted Josiah. And then, okay, so let me kidogo. So I am a judge in a talent show called Talent Star Search at the Carnival. I was a judge. And then amongst the performers, there's a group of guys who qualified in the competition. And the mistake they did, why they did not win, is because they thought the guys who, because at that time I think they qualified to number 3. So I thought for us to win, we have to do a an English rap song. And when they went on stage to do the song, I'm like, no! I'm a judge, but I'm like, ah! And I knew they were not going to win. I knew, because they were not good at it.
In English?
Yeah, they were not good at it. So I went back and I'm like, guys, why? Why did you do it in English? So immediately, I called. No, there were no mobile phones. So I don't know. I got in touch with Ted. K10. I went to K10, called Ted. I'm like, Ted, there's some guys you need to listen to. I was a judge at Star Search, and these guys, bro, you need to hear these guys. He's like, yeah, bring them. Tell them to after me. So fast forward to now this time. Ebu, just come. Where? Sing song. Why? Just come. I go. So I find DJ Light, David Muredi, Ted, and then this guy said, what? You guys? Yeah. I said, dude, Jimmy, I told you about this project I'm doing. In fact, I want you to be a part of it. What? He's like, but let me tell you what we're trying to do. So, we're trying to bring in the best of Kenyan artists. So he tells me this whole, and then he says, we want to call it Kenya, because we're starting from scratch. We want to call this album Kenya, the first chapter. So let me play for you something. These guys are in the studio. They've done their bit. So he plays me. We were bred from the Mau Mau camp. Come out, give the and I'm the Mister. Kutoka. I am what? Israel. I am done. I'm like, what? Kalamashaka.
God.
I am, oh my God.
You're too foundational.
Like, they called. It's like, yeah, man. I've had other stories, but that's how it happened.
Yeah.
And that's how Kalamashaka was born.
That is crazy.
And literally, I think I know then, I think I know that Ogopa DJs came after. I could be wrong, but I do remember at that time when Kenya First Chapter came in, and then now, I think immediately after Ogopa came now, Kinaki took. So there was serious competition with I can't remember what Josiah's album was called.
The time was different.
Yeah.
Kenya First Chapter, because second chapter even came.
Yes. So I was in the first chapter. So here's what happened. So Ted said that you want me to do what? So the first song Ted plays for me is what later became Nikki's song. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know why I was struggling with that. I don't know why. So Ted and I start talking. Dude, I tell you, you're getting married. Yeah. What? How does he feel? So Ted and I have a conversation. And we talk 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 for like 2 weeks. Then he says, can we meet you? Yeah. So I come to the studio because now I'm interested in this project. And then he plays this song. He says, this is your song. And we are going to write this song for your soon-to-be wife. And I'm like, what? Yeah, this will be your gift. This will be our gift, my gift to you and you to her. And this beautiful, oh gosh. Women feel like I'm bad. And that's how I got involved. and the first time she heard the song was our evening party, our opening dance. That's a song I sang to her.
Yeah, bro.
Imagine.
This is deep.
Oh, man. Yeah.
That project also had a guy called Maina Kageni.
So,
I mentioned that name again.
So,
hearing his story.
When we started talking with Ted about my song, Maina was in the studio. Okay, so this time I was like, hey, Ebule, I hear you're getting married. Maina had chomokan. So I knew Maina. So, and Maina, so he was stressing. So I'm like, what's so, Maina? Like, I'm thinking whether I give him a song or we do a song together. I know there's Heart, even Heart are going to be in this song, in this album. I'm like, what, Heart? At that time, they had broken up. I'm just going to bring them back for a special or whatever. But I'm toying around with an idea of a duet, me and Maina, because I love his vocals. You know what you're going to call it? I'm thinking maybe Ebony Affair. Oh, okay. And Maina said, so by the time we're doing, so in my song, Maina, Chris Bitok, and myself were the backup vocals. You can hear Mina's voice, in that. So that's how we were involved.
Yani Maina Kageni was a proper singer.
Mine are not all is. Mine can sing. Oh my goodness. Mine can sing. So Mine and I met when he had just come back from the UK. At that time I was still doing my music shows. It was still very big. I had we met on a Saturday. I just played Babyface's interview on Rhythmics. And Miner was a huge fan, still is a huge fan of Babyface. And that's how we started talking. And in this place where we met, there was a live band. And Miner and I used to go and sing Babyface songs.
Yeah.
So, anyway, but Miner, so fast forward, so I get into Kiss.
Because Maina was a TV presenter.
Miner and I Miner was a sports presenter at KTN. We were together.
KTN,
Then when I went to Capital, Miner was a sports presenter at Capital. Never a presenter. He was, so Capital had an entertainment department or something.
Yeah.
He was in that. And then Miner left Capital and joined Nation FM, where now he became big. And then from there, he went to Kiss. So I found him at Kiss.